Hello, welcome to a tutorial on foreshortening using human figure. Previous lesson included drawing basic shapes for a figure. So here's my model. Our mannequin, it's made up of basic shapes, spheres and cylinders. And if we don't know what foreshortening is when a limb becomes closer to the viewer. So foreshortening is when we're trying to figure out how to draw something coming towards us, like this limb. Okay, there we go. Cooperate. Alright, so you can compare this limb going towards the camera, this limb which is not. So this limb has foreshortening, this limb does not. So how do we draw that? Alright, so we're going to set this aside, start drawing. Now, just like our figure or a model, we're going to draw a basic head shape for the human body. Alright, so more or less egg-shaped. Stick with that. Alright, I'm drawing lightly as guidelines so that I can sharpen them later. That way I don't have to use the eraser too much. Speed things up. Alright, so I'm drawing the upper torso. Alright, drawing the midsection here where the bend at the waist. And I'm just using basic shapes again. Nothing too complicated. It's a lot easier to draw the human body in a simplified form like we are now. Okay, so now we got the upper body going. Alright, so I'm going to start drawing the leg, just like our model has. Joint for the hip flexor. And the knee and the calf. And hopefully we can fit our figure on the page. There we go. Now, a good thing to do right now is check our head sizes. The average person's head, or sorry, height of the average person is 8 heads tall. So we're going to use 7 as that measurement today. So there's our head size. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on, we do have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, I can count. Excellent. So this is where our feet should end up, which they basically do. So we're going to call that good. I could shrink the head size just a slight shade so I could make that fit, but we'll keep that as a good measurement. Alright, so we got our proportions down. Alright, height. Just check our width. The average width of a person is 3 heads across, so we're gonna just rough in another head. Alright, try to get the same width with the head, and that looks pretty good. Eyeballing it. Alright, so our shoulders got to stay within that range as well. Alright, so those are our shoulders. I'm going to draw one arm here. And our arms, if you remember from the previous lesson, they fall in between the waist, halfway in the waist, and above the knee. Alright, so halfway to the waist, and the knee joint is pressed by here. So that's sort of where I want to end up with my hand. any joint has a sphere where a mannequin rotates. Alright, so the hand is pretty a basic shape. Okay, so now we have our figure. Yes, we are missing limbs, and we will add those. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the opposite limbs foreshortened and coming towards us. So let's start with the arms here. Alright, so it's going to be important to draw and overlap our shapes. I should maybe darken my lines here just so it shows up a little bit better. I'll quite try to do this quickly while you catch up on drawing what you see. Alright, so when we draw sphere and cylinder figures, it's important to show which shapes are overlapping what, and usually that's joints that are being overlapped by the limbs. But if you keep your guidelines light, not really any reason for using the eraser, which speeds the process up in drawing quite a bit. Alright, so now we've sharpened up our lines a bit. Hopefully that is a lot more clear in the tutorial. Alright, so we got the shoulder joint right here. We're going to draw in lightly the arm. I'm going to show the arm coming forward just a wee bit. So what we have to do is sort of tilt the cylinder shape of the limb. Alright, so if we were going to end here, this would be sort of what we would see. Okay, let me step back a bit. Let's go over here. Take the average shape of the cylinder. Alright, the cylinder looks like this. Okay, from this side view, from at eye level. If this cylinder, alright, is tipped, okay, this is what we see. We see the arch of the cylinder. Also the open can, think of it as a soup can. There we go. Alright, so it's tipped over, and it's true the other way as well. So we can tip it the other way so we see the top of the can. Alright, notice that this circle over here, this arch here, is parallel with this arch. Alright, so yeah, try to keep the same curve when you're tipping. So right here, this is exactly what's happening with our bicep over here when we're tipping it or reaching forward. Alright, so let's add the joint in here, and I'm going to draw the forearm as well. Alright, so we're looking at this person is maybe shaking a hand or something like that. And it's important to notice that in foreshortening, we are shortening the limbs slightly. So this bicep is tilted just a wee bit, okay? It's a little bit shorter than on the right side. And this limb here is shortened quite a bit compared to this forearm because it's tilted quite a bit more. And you can see that tapering it near the wrist. Right, so it sort of gives the appearance that our figure is trying to shake someone's hand or whatever the case. Anyway, I've darkened my lines quite a bit already. But it's important to show which limbs are in front of each other. So there we are. We have our one arm quite a bit higher than the other one because it's being brought forward, and we have this illusion that it's coming forward because of the arch of the cylinders, as well as the arm is shorter than the other. Okay. If we had bands on our arm, for example, like soup labels, all right, we'd see this. All right, now let's quickly do the leg. Let's put in the hip flexor. If we were going to stride or start walking with our figure. Okay, so our limb is coming to being tipped again. All right, so we're going to keep the same arch there as here, right? And if we had no lower part of the leg, it would look like that. We're going to add a kneecap, make the leg look like we're taking a slight step. Alright, so the shins are overlapping now. The kneecap. Alright, so the ankle joint. And to demonstrate that we are taking a step, sort of show the foot from sort of top view when we take a step. So it's a little bit bigger than this one. Alright, so the ankles, they don't line up. Alright, now the knees don't line up. Why? Because they are foreshortened and they are coming forward a little bit. Alright, it's subtle, but this is what foreshortening is called. Or how to illustrate foreshortening. Alright, so again, if we had a band on our limbs, these would be around. Okay. And because when the knee bends from side view, when we take a step, right, upper leg is forward, knee joint, shin is backwards. So technically I should actually have a little bit of an arch going this way, so it's tipped the other way is what I should be doing here. So thanks for catching that, if you noticed that. And there we go. We have a figure, standing figure in foreshortening. Alright, well, hopefully you caught on. If you need to look back on the video, go for it. And thanks for watching.